So, tell me what we're going to talk about today.
You can go fishing on Black Ops 4. Pokemon Go Water Festival 2019. Square Enix hit with more death threats. You might be able to upgrade your Nintendo Switch for free, or not. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered has a release date. Pokemon Trophy breaks the moment the winner touches it. Disney is not impressed with the New Mutants. Actor responds to trolls saying he's too ugly for a Marvel movie. Hashtag boycott Mulan. Kevin Smith is making a He-Man anime series. Spider-Man Far From Home being re-released. New Star Wars book reveals potential spoilers. Darth Flex random Facebook stuff. Mortal Kombat reboot casting. Spider-Man No More. Matrix 4 officially a go. Ewan McGregor returns as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Love, Death, Robots series review part 17. FAA bans dangerous MacBook Pros. All this and more on this week's episode of Keepin' Up the Geek Bros, a family podcast. Allegedly. Stay tuned.
Never looked so good. Two incredibly sexy men will rise for your auditory pleasure. Here's your hosts, Keeping Up with the Geek Bros.
Yes! Keep Up with the Geek Bros podcast, episode 76. I had to scroll up. I'm your host, Vibe, and with me are my fellow Geek Bros.
Dark Flex.
Garbanzo.
Flex, your footage is so grainy. You're using you're stealing Wi-Fi from your neighbors, right?
I'm using my iPhone's Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. That's
I haven't transferred.
I thought you were getting your Jotaro on. Okay, just making sure. All right. So before we get started, Flex, with your grainy, but yet sensual footage, please tell us the social media.
Of course. You find beautiful thespians? I don't know if that's lesbians. I don't know. All right, you guys can check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Geek Bros with 0. That's GEEKBR0S. You can also check us out, or actually email us at geekbros@yahoo.com. Once again, I mean, unless you've seen it, but there's no nudes in our inbox. Also, if you want to see pretty...
I don't know. I mean, didn't we get an email from... Okay, we'll get into it. Okay. Because I didn't see it. It didn't load on my screen, but okay. Carry on.
You can check out our cool posts and up-to-date news on facebook.com/geekbros with a 0. Mm-hmm. And then the first place to find the Geek Bros.
First place!
WeBeGeeksPC.com. Now, if you want to check out this beautiful concoction of Egyptian cinnamon, milk chocolate, and café con leche, you can check us out at youtube.com/VibeRep Studios. That's VIBEREVSTUDIOS.
Yes. Please subscribe, like, share. You guys gotta get the word out. I have taken for granted what it means to actually repeat that to you guys. So please subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting app. Please subscribe and watch and share our videos on YouTube, because we're trying to do something with our lives here. So before we get into today's topics, we're going to talk about comments and questions from you, the audience. I have to make it very clear that we did have a little snafu last week, and I apologize to those who were looking forward to episode 76 last week. At least for this week, you're going to be getting 3 episodes back-to-back, 76, D323, and 77. So be happy with that. And but next time, email us. Don't blow my phone up personally, because I'm one of 3.5 cogs in a wheel that makes this fine brand of ours succeed and thrive. Comments and questions. It was a slow week. We only have, I think, 2, so we'll get through it real quick. Facebook comments. We posted a rather funny thing about some girl and her horrible, her horrible posts and uneducated posts, let's say it like that. And Daryl Anthony McGee said, I can't hate. She's getting hers. Haters gonna hate. So, but it was really funny, but you should check it. It was done on, I don't even know anymore. Scroll down, you'll see what we're talking about. But it's a raunchy and very, very illiterate stuff. We're going to move on to, we have 2 comments from YouTube, and I love the fact that we get these randomly new people subscribing and watching on YouTube. First, Norwal commented, love your work and very much looking forward to the next one. Actually, he was one of the individuals that was like, where's the next one? So, Norwell, thanks a lot for commenting. And again, you're gonna get 3 this week, and it'll satiate your appetite for these smooth, buttery voices. Our big man Squeezy Bits commented, and he said, "Vibe once again. Can I pronounce an Asian person's name? Maybe you should." Maybe I think he may try. Maybe you should try Hispanic women. Garbanzo was supposed to hook you up, wasn't he? # forever alone. So
well,
it's funny.
You should stop being a fucking pussy and jump on the podcast and teach you how to say it.
We would like that. We would like that. It'd be fantastic. So yeah, if we could get Squeezy Bits on the podcast to pronounce all the Asian names for me, that's it. We go to the next level. Period. So that's it.
So we could literally do. What about we were to do that? Just invite him for the call. Have him pronounce it, and then just kick him off. Just like boot him off, and just invite him, and just do that.
Then it would require me to find all the Asian words that are in my post and bundle them all together, so we can do it real quick, and then leave. That'd be really funny. Squeezy Bits lessons or whatever we call it. He already has a pick. So let's see. Let's keep calling him pussy. See what happens. All right. Well, that's it for comments and questions. That's it for comments and questions. Thanks a lot, guys. Don't forget to Facebook us, Instagram, tweet us. I know there's a Twitter poll that's up right now that's been up there. I think it's in the 4 days left. Check that out and please vote on that. Subscribe on Facebook. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really tired. Long day. All right, we're gonna move on. Gents, anything to report?
Yes. So I am 29 years old, almost 30. For the first time in my life, I took a shit that was actually making me afraid, like very afraid. It was the most painful shit I've ever taken in my life. I was pretty afraid because I couldn't stop it. It also didn't want to come out. After a grueling 10 minutes, it did come out. It was very painful.
How many Keurix was it?
I don't know, but I mean, it fucking hurt, and my asshole didn't feel right for at least. So this happened around what, like 9 a.m. I texted you guys. I think it might have been like 8:15.
It was early.
My asshole didn't feel right again until maybe like 7 p.m.
That's exactly.
And even then, like I just didn't feel emotionally okay. And then the next day, I just shit a lot of blood. But it was very, very scary.
Now, if I was correct, you said that your anal hole inverted, right? It came inside out, right? Is that what we're saying?
No, it didn't pick sock itself.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But I don't know. I mean, like, I've fought in 2 different wars, and this is by far the most frightening thing I've ever had to go through in my life.
Have you corrected what it was? You said it might have been too much protein, which would be a great. How much protein is too much protein would be a great integrated fitness for the future. But was it the protein or you just needed?
I think I just needed more fiber in my diet.
Okay.
Not necessarily too much protein.
Okay.
Might have been a little bit dehydrated too.
Sounds good. That's not good because you were all right. Moving on.
No, but I mean, like, I hydrated acutely. It's just the day before.
Oh, okay. I get you. Garbanzo. I mean, I don't know how you could top that, but please, by all means, anything to report?
It's like, well, actually, mine also has to do with my anus. No, it really doesn't.
I was gonna say family podcast.
Actually, for me, all I got to really report is that looking forward to talking about D23, and we got some really cool stuff coming up, and that's really about it. I'm just excited for these couple podcasts.
That's right.
And Galaxy's Edge, which, by the way, I got really close to getting in.
Really close to edging?
That's exactly what she said.
Wait. So is it called edging then?
Yeah, he was edging.
I got to the edge of Galaxy's Edge.
He almost got it in by edging. So.
Have you guys tried edging?
No, I don't know what that is. I mean, I live under a rock, so.
Okay, Google it some other time.
Do I have to be in incognito mode to Google this?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Garbanzo, I'm gonna. Garbanzo's like, yes. All right. So, and that's it. So nothing else to report. Sorry, my life is in shambles. So that's it. Moving on.
So what's going on with the Geek Bros?
Now we're about a week behind on our videos. What we do have coming up is, of course, the video recap of this episode, the video recap of D23, and the video recap of episode 77, and the first, still cell phone footage, the first mini-sode in a while. We all submitted our videos reacting to the new Star Wars trailer, so you're going to see that this week. I should be recording it. I actually had it all edited, but I didn't expect Garbanzo to submit, so when he did, I was like, I got to redo everything. So we're going to re-edit that stuff. And we actually have a special guest on that.
You guys remember, I work crazy hours, man. You guys give me a little more time.
All you gotta say is get it to you at 10 p.m. But you didn't answer at all.
Sorry.
You know, I remember I get stuff, and when I get at least 3, myself and 2 more, that's it. I move on to video. So we have 4. So we do, and we also have a special guest. So you guys should check that out. It's gonna be really fun. And that's about it. You know, websites, still whatever. Geek Bros YouTube is in there, and stuff like that. So, moving on. Episode 76, I apologize for being late, starts now. We're getting into the fresh scent.
Fresh scent.
What's new in the gaming world? Video game is out this week, presented to you by Darflex. Darflex, you're going to have to give last week's games?
I am. I'm already prepared for that shit.
Fantastic. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Video games out last week by Darflex.
Last week fucking sucked it. But all right, so we're going to start off with August 19th. What we have is Vigor for the Xbox One, Erica for the PS4. Now we're into August 20th. The Cycle, Early Access for the PC. Remnant, From the Ashes for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Rad for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Undermine, Steam Early Access for the PC. Yakuza Remastered Collection for the PS4. Yakuza 3 Remastered for the PS4. Now we're on to August 21st. We have Songs of Skydale, Steam Early Access for the PC. Rogue Heist, Steam Early Access for the PC, on to August 22nd. Oninaki for the PC, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. We have Extreme Tactical Executioners, Early Access for the PC and the Oculus Rift. We have Gears Pop for the PC, Android, and iOS. Steambirds Alliance for the PC. Black Desert for the PS4. Life is Strange 2, Episode 4 for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Now we're on to August 23rd. Marble and the Wood for the PC. Over Dungeon, official launch for the PC. Telling Lies for the PC and iOS. Mechabolt for the PC. And that is it for the week of the 19th.
Oh, wow. Okay, thank you so much. That is last week's video games out this week. We're going to move on to the Battle for Azeroth, brought to you by me! Hells yeah, y'all! Okay, I've succumbed to the wonderful peer pressure of Darflex, and I rejoined World of Warcraft, and I'm on the Burning Blade. I'm on the Horde. I am a troll mage. I'm at level 5. The ground keeps shaking. The missions are tedious. I don't get the whole hot rod thing.
Oh, okay.
The Horde are nasty fuckers. The place is disgusting. I don't know what I'm doing on this area. I hate every minute of it in theory. But I don't want to be very clear that I have yet to play. It's been over a week now. I've yet to play at all with Darflex. I'm gonna make it very clear. I joined this thing and I broke my rule and put it on this friggin' computer because it ran better. Yeah, and I still haven't played with you yet.
Now, what's happening is with the new or the Warcraft Live, right? Not the classic. Everybody now starts off during the Cataclysm. That's why the Earth is shaking. So Deathwing is reshaping the Earth with his fury.
Who?
Deathwing.
Is that big dragon that I hit a football in his face?
Yeah.
Oh, that what that was?
You're a troll or are you a goblin?
I don't know. I'm short. I got a big face.
That's probably a goblin.
No, I think I'm a troll. I'm a short green thing.
Yeah,
you would know if you play with me.
I'm actually a goblin as well. But that's pretty interesting because I think this is one of the only races that you see in actual in-game cinematic for the starting. Yeah. Okay. But Once you get off of Kazan, it's gonna be pretty interesting. You'll like it, and then I'll help you out. That's gonna finish moving, bro. Like I don't have the internet right now. I use my phone for everything.
Oh, right, correct.
But as far as the Battle for Azeroth, nothing really to report other than on the 27th, World of Warcraft Classic officially launches. Officially.
What is so special about launching Classic? Why? Why do they care?
Well, it's going to go back to just grinding and grinding. Believe it or not, they've answered my plea, but not the way I want it. But PvP is back in World, but only in Classic.
Okay.
And it stops at the Nexaramas. After that, it's pretty much just grinding and grinding. As of right now, there's no plan to actually continue any expansions for Classic. I think it just stops there. And I mean, it's just the old field. The world hasn't changed. There hasn't been a whole bunch of crazy stories and so on. It's pretty much the World of Warcraft as it's been right before the Burning Crusade. Meaning that you cannot play as a goblin in World of Warcraft Classic.
Oh, okay.
Because they're not playable characters at the time of Classic.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, because I hear everybody's going nuts for that, and I don't get it.
It's crazy because, the wait time to get into any of the servers is like 600 minutes.
So there's not enough servers, or
the servers are just packed.
That's so weird. I wonder what. Okay, that's cool. All right. Well, is that it for Azeroth?
Yeah, for Azeroth.
You guys should play with me. I'm on Burning Blade, and I'm on the Horde, and until Darflex plays with me, because I really don't. I'm not enjoying myself, to be honest with you. I'm playing it, and I'm rolling my eyes at these mini missions, and I think I've run out of mini missions, and now I don't know what's happening, and everybody disappeared. So, or at least the people that are in my hut disappeared, and I don't know what happened. And I really hate that hot rod thing they got going on. It's
fucking annoying.
It's really, and it's really bad. I want to play with a controller, like a controller. I don't know how I ever used to do it with a keyboard and a mouse.
You can do that on Star Wars: The Old Republic with their Starship part of the game. You can actually plug it in remote and have Starship battles.
Oh, okay.
But that's neither here nor there.
So that's it. So that's it for the Battle for Azeroth. So you'll be hearing now. I will be chiming in with my own weekly updates, along with Flex to continue to explain the lore. Now, as long as I keep playing, it's free to play. It's a bitch to download, that's for sure. And
how big is it?
About 9 inches or so. Maybe like a little longer than a remote. So
okay.
Yeah. What are you referring to? I'm sorry. The file?
No. Yeah. I'm no.
No. The file is it's 60 gigabytes, I think, or more. I only remember seeing 60 gigabytes, and then it keeps going and stopping and going and stopping. It basically I had to sit and I had to check on the download every hour to make sure it didn't auto pause itself. It was really weird. So
how would it auto pause? I don't understand.
I have no idea. It did it on my laptop, and it did it when I was installing it on this setup right here. And if I left for more than an hour and I came back, it stopped recording or it stopped downloading. That's why it took me a whole weekend to download. I don't know if that's just my setup, or maybe because my computer was on though. It never went to sleep mode. But whatever. Moving on. So I'm on there. Join us. All right, we're gonna move on to. You can now go fishing in Black Ops 4 Battle Royale mode, but it's dangerous. Now, I picked this article specifically for Joe because Joe Taro, he said that he liked any games that had fishing in it. So I wanted him to really discuss this. Unfortunately, Joe will be coming on a little bit later, so I will not be discussing this. So guess what? If you have Black Ops 4 Battle Royale, you can go fishing, but it's dangerous. This article comes from Kotaku.com.
Why is it dangerous?
I don't know. I wasn't going to read. I didn't read the article.
Because why are you idiot people come over and shoot you?
Okay, it says here, thanks to an update last week, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 now lets you fish in its Blackout Battle Royale mode. You fish for items, not fish, and if you are lucky, you can reel in some powerful guns. Blackout has 2 fish locales. Okay, my first adventure, you can various items and axes and whatever, and ammo, but I've only caught a single paint can, quality, fishing. There's also the obvious threat of other players. Because the lighthouse is a fairly active drop location, I believe only one person can fish at a time, and I've never encountered a non-hostile opponent while fishing. So basically, it's dangerous because while you're fishing,
you're vulnerable.
You're vulnerable to drop in, and there's actually a screenshot of a character fishing, and a person just dropped in, and he's about to like hack his head off or something. So that's why it's dangerous, is that you leave yourself vulnerable, and it's a drop zone. They will catch you, and they will hit you from behind. So there you go. Freaking Garbanzo forced me to read it. All right, we're moving on to dive into Water Festival 2019, and this is a Pokemon Go update. This article comes from PokemonGoLive.com. Trainer, it's time to make a big splash. Even if you don't live near the water, you can look forward to a water-type Pokemon coming soon in eggs, raids, field research, and in the wild. That's right, the long-awaited Water Festival is back. Date and time was Friday, August 23rd. That was last week, 1 p.m. Until August 30th, which is actually a couple of days from now. It features water-type Pokemon like Magikarp, Wooper, Walimir, and they will all appear more frequently in the wild. The following Pokemon will be appearing more frequently in the wild around water: Wartortle, Poliwhirl, Seaking, Lapras, Quillfish, Manatee, Lilith, oh god, all these other crap. So yeah, there's a great.
I knew this about this last week.
Well, it's still going on till the 30th. We're at the 30th. Ah, zing zing. You got 2 more days. So you got raids. Water-type Pokemon like Blastoise, Vaporeon, Lapras will appear in raids. And on Wednesday the 28th, which is today, from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. local time, you'll be able to encounter Uxie. God, I don't know these names. Mespril and Azel. Oh god, forget it. Anyway, so check it out. That's Pokemon Water Festival Go Live. I don't know any of these Pokemon because I Gen 1, maybe Gen 2 was my favorite. If any of you actually are still on Pokemon Go, I'd love to hear from you. Email us geekbros@yahoo.com. Tell us what's going on with Pokemon Go. Is it better? Are you switching over to the Harry Potter game that's just like it apparently, or are you doing a Dive Festival? You're doing it right now. Tell me all about it. Email us. We're going to move on to Square Enix hit with more death threats, cancels game tournament. This article comes from Kotaku.com. Starting this weekend, which is probably last weekend. Last weekend, there was supposed to be an event for Mecha arcade games. It's called Starwing Paradox at 4 cities across Japan. Those events have been canceled due to death threats. According to the official Square Enix statement, there have been several death threats made against Starwing Paradox's management team. Square Enix has reported the threats and have cooperated fully with the police. As a precautionary measure, the Starwing Paradox tournaments for that weekend, which is last weekend, and this weekend in Tokyo, Yokohama, Nagoya, and Fukuoka. There you go, have been canceled. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. Not only they just let the terrorists win.
Wait, dude, did you? Okay.
What?
Yeah, you know what? We'll leave that one alone.
Why?
You got fairly close to it. It's a Fukuoka.
That's what I said. What did I say? I said it very slowly. That's what she said, and stretched it out. You know, but
at least you got the Yokohama right.
Yes, I did. Yes, Squeezy Bits shut up. So
it's funny because Squeezy Bits is more Mexican than he is Asian. It's Filipino, bro.
It's funny.
Really
That's fairly true.
I love Filipino women. So what do you guys think? I mean, I'm throwing this question out to you guys only because, like, do you think they should have canceled it? Does this give the victory to whoever's doing the threats? I mean,
but the whole thing is that it has to, for them to have canceled it. It had to be a viable threat. I mean, I'm thinking like they didn't just be like, oh, someone said that they were going to do this and XYZ, and I mean, I'm assuming that it had to have been some kind of viable threat.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, I think they should not have canceled it.
I don't think so either. I honestly don't think they should have because all you're doing is setting a precedent that you make any of these kind of threats. Like what do you like let's be real. Kids are doing it a lot now, but they know they can disrupt a school day by calling a fake bomb threat or a fake shooter threat. It's in poor taste. But the very first day of school, bomb threat at the high school of my kids. You know, and this is a charter school, by the way. Completely upset the whole day. You know what I'm saying? Because they take, and of course, they take things seriously. But when they know that they can do this, I mean, So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I don't believe that any real credible threat would announce it before it happens. If you want to do something, if you want to do something, you're gonna do it, and then you take credit for it afterwards. I don't really believe that somebody who really wants to hurt people will warn you ahead of time, because then you of course minimize casualties. People won't show up. People won't come. So it was obviously done to disrupt the event, maybe the game, whatever it was. That's how I feel. You guys could feel differently, but if you want to fuck some shit up, you're gonna fuck it up. Then you claim credit afterwards. You're not gonna. That's just how I feel.
The thing is about if you want to stop an event, you're basically saying someone is. You want to call to stop an event, you make that threat. The only thing is that you don't know whether that person is going to go through with that threat, if they continue with the event. Their goal is for you to cancel that event. If you do not cancel that event, then they may take action. The problem is you don't know whether or not the person will take action. That is true. So I mean, it's a double-edged sword, but I stand by my previous statement. But we're gonna move on, gentlemen. We're gonna move on to if you bought a Nintendo Switch since July 17th, you might be able to get an upgrade for free. Really? This is an article coming from TheVerge.com, and there was actually both. I want to read this article a little bit. I'm going to give you the next article. So Nintendo Nintendo made a lightly updated version of the original Switch console that offers improvements like better battery life. Are you doing sign language?
I am actually.
Okay, cool. But if you bought the old model recently, you may not be out of luck. The company is offering upgrades to the newer model for customers who bought their old version from July 17th going forward, when Nintendo announced the new model. According to a report from Polygon.com, which confirms Nintendo's performing the swaps. Now, that article was dated August 16th. Now, TheVerge.com posts one that is the very next day. Nintendo denies reports of trade-in program for new upgraded Switch models. So earlier this week, a number of reports pointed out, and it's funny because they said earlier this week they put a number of reports, which means they're trying to say it wasn't just them; it was a bunch of people that were reporting it. I like to do that. A number of reports reported to an exchange program for Nintendo Switch owners looking to upgrade from the original model. According to these reports, and they should have said including ours, Nintendo would offer a free upgrade for those who purchased the Switch after July 17th, when the new model with an improved battery was announced. However, today the company says that these reports are untrue, and a statement to The Verge, Nintendo's spokesperson explained, "We do not have a Nintendo Switch exchange program. We always want players to enjoy the Nintendo Switch systems, and if anything gets in the way of that, we encourage them to visit http://support.nintendo.com for support, or contact our customer service." So, in other words, this thing was both reported on and retracted in a day. So congratulations everybody out there who just jumps on every news bandwagon. And again, we don't report the news. We report the news that we hear, but we don't make the news. And that is a way that you avoid fake news, at least from us. So that was funny. I thought that was hilarious. I've
never heard of Nintendo doing anything like that, so I was like,
I was skeptical too, but I had to report on it. I had to. But what I found equally as funny was this next one. It's fun. It's sad, but it's funny. Also, coming from Kotaku.com, Pokemon Trophy breaks the moment winner touches it. And it's sad, but I laughed so hard. Now, if you guys go on it, you'll see there's a GIF of it. And as soon as he gets it, the ball comes right off the Pikachu. This is called the Pokemon World Champions were a weekend ago. The players from around the globe battling across the 3DS and trading card games to see who would be this year's Pokemon Master. After all is said and done, Pokemon CEO, Pokemon CEO, insert your name here, took to the stage to present all the finalists with their trophies, some of which were apparently shoddier than others. So, where is it?
Tsukasa Ishihara.
It's hard. Whatever. It's hard to decide what was better. The applause transforming into a deep gasp, the distraught look that spreads across the assistant's face as the cup falls, or the deadpan stare after they all realize that it can't be fixed. Listen,
it can't be fixed.
It can't be fixed. It couldn't be fixed. And so it was like, look at the kid's face. Oh my God, he's just, look at it. Look at him. Look at, he's holding it. He's holding the piece that broke. This is terrible. I'm sorry, but it's terrible. So I just want to report on this that it's a grand finale, and they had some really crappy, trophies.
China.
Yeah. Oh, too soon. Too soon.
What?
All right, moving on.
Dude.
That is true. Moving on.
Yeah, make everything in China.
Just a quick announcement. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered is coming out on September 3rd. That's it. And that is it for what's new in the gaming world. We're going to move on to inebriated fitness. Darflex is an exercise physiologist with a BS in exercise and sports science. He is a certified CSCS strength conditioning coach and a CSCISSN sports nutritionist, sports injury specialist, and currently an MMA weight cut specialist and nutritionist. Woo! Back to basics. On June 4, 2019 was the end of Vibes, I love talking about myself in the third person, Vibes intermittent fasting and fitness experiment with a total loss of 28 pounds since starting in February. I have since gotten back into it within the last 3 weeks. And basically, what I had posed to Flex, even though I already had my own plan, I said, "What advice would you give to somebody who fell off the wagon, is getting back on there?" So back to basics, Darflex.
All right. So falling off the own wagon, or falling off your wagon. I'm gonna sound like a hippie with this, but really,
agreed.
The first thing you need to do.
Not
look at yourself in the mirror, but you need to sit down and tell yourself, why am I doing this? Whether it's for health reasons, whether it's for getting chicks or dudes, whatever. Because 50% of the population is female or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a statistician, but just find out what your actual motivation is. Whether it's health reasons, personal reasons, you just want to feel good, want to look good, want to perform good. I mean, for sure, if you're an athlete, this shouldn't even be a question. Your fucking ass should be out there fucking putting in work. But that's probably one of the hardest things. Because here's a very common thing that I see among friends, family, even clients is they want to get back into it, right? And what's the first thing they say? Oh, as soon as I do insert whatever bullshit goal or excuses, I'm going to get back into it. And for them, thinking about it, thinking about just doing it, and feeling good about it is enough for them. They'll stop there. They'll immediately stop dead in their tracks as soon as they have that. Like, they just feel good about thinking about being better for themselves. But that's where they stop. That's one of the biggest obstacles people will hear. Like, I have some personal friends, some of me and family members say, oh, once I do this, I'm going to start getting back into it. And then when I ask them, so how did the gym go? They're like, no, fucking, whatever. They just get angry or they get defensive. Like, what the fuck? It's gotten to the point where I'm like, you know what, like, don't ask me to help you if you're going to get mad whenever I hold you accountable for whatever you're doing. Mm-hmm. So really, it's just finding your own drive. The one thing I hate the most, even though I literally get paid for this, is depending on someone for you to get your own results. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of shit. Yes, you can pay me to, expedite your process. But really, if you aren't willing to help yourself, I mean, what do you think's going to happen? You stop paying that person or asking that one person for help. Unless you somehow, get that motivation out of your ass, you're not really going to. So that's the first step, is find your goal. Make sure it's realistic, okay? Realistically, you're not going to, in a month, you're not going to see much progress. Most goals should, at the very minimum, start at 3 months. Sure, you'll see differences. But, like, for example, let's say getting from 20% or 30% body fat to 20% body fat in a month. That's not going to happen. It's not. It's realistically not going to happen. So make sure that by setting unrealistic goals, you're already setting yourself up for failure because you're already defeating yourself. So you need to make sure you have a plan, set up your goal. Whether or not you pay someone or ask someone for help, make sure that you are your primary driver for that purpose. Okay, and then the biggest thing for this is consistency. Consistency is key. You'll hear Rome wasn't built in a day, whatever, so on. The human body is kind of a bitch because super easy to get out of shape, super easy to lose all your gains and progress you've done, but it's hard.
That's true.
It's hard to actually make the progress. And I mean, I'll be the first to admit it. That's very demoralizing, putting in hard work and not seeing as much progress as you think because you have unrealistic expectations in your head. And then, you know, yes, one bad meal won't make you fat, just like one good meal won't make you skinny. It's just that one bad meal will work a lot faster than that good meal. So you need to understand the consistency. The biggest rule of adaptation this is just the minimum. This is more for like supplements and chemistry in relation to human physiology. But typically, a lot of physiological results are seen within 21 days. Not necessarily aesthetic, but just performance-wise, how you feel, how the way the mind adapts its neuromuscular connections to your stress that's placed upon it. So even though you don't look bigger for sure in 21 days, you're going to be stronger because your neurons are now telling your muscles, hey, recruit more fibers, be stronger, don't be a bitch, in layman's term. If you're not consistent, if you say, oh, like first of all, actually New Year's resolutioners are the biggest culprits of this. They'll work out for that first month and that's it, just stop. Obviously, you're just going to look disgusting after because if yeah, this is probably pissing a lot of people off, huh? Because nobody really wants to hear this kind of stuff.
No, they don't. That's why we have you here.
People do need to hear it, so.
Yeah. Let me just break it down into 5 key points. Have a plan. Be realistic. Don't be a bitch. Don't be lazy. And don't compare yourself to others, especially women. Especially women. Do not compare yourself to men because we're very, like I said in many other podcasts, nobody's created equal. Okay?
Some are created superior, like me.
Absolutely. Well, you know, if you were actually black, physically you'd probably be superior. But I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
All right, let me get into brass tacks. Okay, so you said all right. You said have a plan. You said have a goal or have a motivation, right? What if you don't have a motivation? Here's the thing. Let's look at it this way. Now, when I got on the fasting concept and the 10 sprints, which is as far as we got, which was doing pretty well. I lost a total of 28 pounds by the time I got the celebration. That was the point. I wanted to look as trim as possible for celebration, and I damn looked good, right? Once celebration was gone, I continued. I continued from May into May, but then as celebration vanished and there was no reason for me to continue, the first chance I got, which was my birthday month, I slowed down to a crawl. July completely stopped and only began again in August when I realized that holy crap, I probably lost half the gains I just got back because of the way my pants was not there wasn't as much slack as there was. Like I was like, are you serious? So here's my thing. I'm doing it again. In large part due to the fact that you took time to give me the instructions, but I have no motivation. I have no reason to do it. I honestly, though I totally agree that I have no business being this short and being at this weight or this size. At the same time, I'm happy with the way I am. I got no problem with it, but I know I shouldn't be, which is the only reason why I'm doing it. What do you tell somebody who is perfectly content with being overweight, being chubby, but but has the foresight to know that they don't need to be that way, they shouldn't be that way, but they have no motivation and they need something to jump into it because God knows I need something.
That is an excellent statement, and I'm going to explain it using you as a subject because I disagree with what you just said. While yes, you may be happy and you may not have a motivation at first, whether or not it was a celebration, I believe that from what I saw, you became your own motivation because throughout the process, people were telling you look thin. I even told you, damn, bro, you look good. And like, you could just see it, the way you reacted, like, yeah, I'm like, you absolutely became your own motivation. And whether or not you were happy the way you looked, you felt better. And you were dedicated, man, because I know in celebration, I'm like, bro, have a drink. Don't be a bitch. Bro, eat this. Bro, you're like, no, fuck that. Me, bro, I'm the professional here. I would have fucking broken under the pressure immediately and fucking shoved bacon in my mouth and took a bunch of whiskey to the face. So, really, it's like I said earlier. It's even if you get someone to help you motivate yourself at first, you have to become your own motivation. And I believe you absolutely did that throughout the process.
I actually have to concur with that because, Chase, I saw that you were there. You were ready to go. I mean, you kept it going.
And that isn't the first time. Because remember when you were going vegan, whether or not it made you a pussy, but remember during the hurricane, I made that delicious, or before the hurricane hit, I made that delicious rib roast, and you're like, no, I'm sticking to my vegan diet, bro. The amount of fucking willpower it would have taken me to do that, bro.
But that's the thing, though. I know what you're saying, though, but it's because I had a particular goal, though, and yes, when Celebration came. You know, I was trying to push it beyond Celebration. I told you, dude, give me something because I want to look as good as possible for Celebration. And when I did get there, and I was looking better, and I was wearing my smaller large. I was even putting on my medium shirts on again. You know, I said, okay, well, if I can make it this far, I can go even further. It just faded away though. With the vegan thing, same thing. The vegan thing was an experiment for another thing that I was doing, and after I was only supposed to do it for 30 days, I went for 62 days, and I said, okay, well, I can keep going. But then once the point of it vanished, I eventually said, well, you know, subconsciously, of course, probably said, well, why am I still doing this? You know, I'm not particularly happy. I'll tell you right now, I don't like working out. I don't like it. I mean, I don't like working out daytime, afternoon. I mean, I do it because I know I should. I know it's the right thing to do. I know that I'm getting up there in age, and I need to do what I got to do, but I don't want to do it. I don't like to do it. So as much as I appreciate you saying that eventually the initial reason that I had became a moot point and I went on my own, I'm telling you that that was the catalyst, and I always try to extend beyond the catalyst, which you saw it with the veganism and with Celebration. But eventually, once that initial time frame, that expression date is passed, I eventually just fizzle back out into the way I want to be, especially since, again, I'm fine with a few extra pounds. That's the thing though. I know it's not as healthy as I could be, but I'm fine with it. And because I'm fine with it, it's harder for me to get motivated to say, well, you need to drop it so you can get those compliments. I don't really care. I like the way I look. I'm fine. So that's where I'm having problems when it comes to maintaining the motivation, because I'm dragging ass. Week 4 now. I'm back into it. Week 4, and I'm still doing the 16-hour fasting. I actually did 31 hours the other day. I'm still going to the gym on my lunch break. I'm still doing a 40-minute 2-mile walk / doing my sprints. I'm still doing it. I've dropped another 9 pounds that of the original 28 that I didn't gain back all 28, but let's say I gained back 19 of the 28. I lost 9 again, which is great. It's great, and I chalk it all up to the original instructions that you gave me. But at week 4, I'm there today. I'm at lunch break, and I'm on the elliptical, and I usually do over 2 miles, burning about 300 calories, and I was dragging ass. I did just under 200. I think I did 1.5 miles, and I was just like this, sweating, but like I'm just like, why am I doing this? Why am I not enjoying my lunch, or at least laying down? So that's where I am right now.
Okay. Well, here's one thing I do even as far as programming goes for general population is we have long-term goals and short-term goals, or macro assessments and micro assessments. We're going to reach the long-term goal, right? Once you do, you should continue with micro assessments or short-term goals. Let's say you reach your 28 pounds. All right. And this is also hard too, because you still have to have the willpower. At the end of the day, it all depends on you actually reaching down and pushing through it. But for example, let's say you're at 28 pounds. Okay, by next week I'm gonna lose 0.5 pound, or by next week I want to cut my sprint down by like 2 seconds, or 1.5 seconds, or 0.5 second. That's a very good way, without having an external motivation, is to set little goals for yourself that you can easily accomplish, and eventually it's going to add up. It's just, but again, it doesn't matter what goals you set up. It's just not necessarily having a goal, but just pushing yourself to do it. Like, you need to know you can do it. Now, you don't need to be Usain Bolt. You don't need to go out there and get shredded. If you're fine the way you are, that's great. You can also very easily just maintain, do it for your health. I mean, a lot of fathers or a lot of parents that I train, like a lot of their motivations, whether or not they're healthy, is their children. They'll say, oh, I'm going to live long enough to see my children do this or that, or I just want to be there and be able to play with them and not my back hurting the whole time, or I want to be able to do stuff with them and not be on a couch or like a wheelchair the whole time. Again, it's just looking down at your personal values, seeing what your life, again, we are all pretty much slowly dying. So it's just looking at your personal values, seeing what it is you want. Like for me, a majority of my family, by the time they're like 70, they're already like pretty much invalids. They're helpless. If I ever get to that point, I'm going to Canada to get euthanized because it is legal there. I want to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, bro. He's like almost 80 years old and he's in better shape than, even though he's taking steroids, it doesn't matter. He's still putting the work in. He's in better shape than most people in their like early 20s. Like for me, I never want to be somebody's burden. I never want to be in a wheelchair unless like I lose a leg or some weird shit. But I never want to be in a wheelchair from lack of self-care. I never want to be a burden on somebody. I never want to have some wipe my ass. I just hopefully time takes me out before any of that happens. That's my goal.
You're right.
It's just finding your own personal values and applying them to life, really.
You're right. I like that. Anything else you want to wrap up with these nuggets of information before we move on?
Yeah, man. It's just very simple. Don't be a bitch and try harder because nobody fucking cares about your excuses.
And there you go. So I'll check in with you guys probably monthly. So to maybe if I use the fact that we have audience listening and maybe you guys should like call me out on my shit. Maybe if I can use the podcast knowing that I have to check in monthly about my progress, maybe that'll help keep me focused. I mean, I'm focused, but I'm just like I'm not the drive isn't there.
Probably gangster. It's like for like every 5 pounds you lost, like one of our Asian listeners would send you nudes.
Oh hell yeah! Can you imagine? If somebody could say, Vibe, you lose 50 pounds, and we're gonna hook you up with a really fine Asian girl, perfectly Filipino. I would absolutely. I'm talking about. I would lose that bad boy in 3 months. Okay, I would rock it. I would go to that gym. I'd make sure. So you give me that short-term goal, and I will lose 50 pounds, 3 months, guaranteed. So I'm just throwing that out there. If you guys want to help out a brother, a little chubby brother, give me that personal goal. All right. Well, thank you, sir. If you want more fitness and nutrition tips, or like to see some of those sweet UFC posts, follow the man here on Instagram. That's DarthFlex, DARTH_FLEXX. We're gonna move on to Animation Invasion. The countdown begins. Love, Death, Robots, Part 17, Alternate Histories. Multiversity shows an alternate history in which Hitler dies in a variety of comical, fantastic ways. So, as we are one step closer to the end of our 18-part review, episode by episode, which is that's been crazy. Could you imagine? That is a lot of episodes. So we're gonna do the good, the bad, the ugly. Currently, Garbanzo has stepped away from the camera, so we'll start. The good, Darflex.
The good, pretty much the plot or the premise and the animation. I mean, this is an idea that I've always played around with. It's just like, wouldn't it be cool to just sit down, get drunk, or get inebriated, and just kind of like talk? Because really, what it is just stupid shit. Like, wouldn't it be cool to just? This is like the kind of stuff you would like sit down back with a bottle of proper top and just like make up silly stuff. It's silly, and I like it.
I guess because I mean it became super absurd, at the end. Like at first it was grounded, but then it got really, really, really absurd. I was just like, okay, I have no good. This was a palate cleanser episode. It was the perfect episode that needed to put to show before the next episode. So I just watched it. I didn't find it. Okay, well I'll get to that point. But I have no good. The bad.
No bad, because really I didn't expect anything from it other than what I've always thought in my mind of silly ideas.
The bad for me was the animation. I didn't like the style. It was far too cartoony. Oh snap! Garbanzo's in the building.
Gentlemen, sorry about that. I had an issue I had to take care of.
Understood. Remember, no backhands. Listen, we're in Love, Death, Robots, Part 17. We did the good. You want to do the good real quick?
This is actually by far one of my favorite episodes.
Wow. Of course, that makes sense.
It is absolutely hilarious. The cartoony animation, it just makes it so much more fun. It's just watching Hitler die over and over again. It's entertaining.
You didn't even know the man.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, it's not even that it's Hitler. It could have been Rosa Parks. I still would have liked it. because what it is just a bunch of silly ideas.
Right.
That's why I thought it was fun.
So I don't know. The bad Garbanzo.
I mean, I would like to. They got kind of creative with some of the deaths. I would love to have seen them kind of go a little like obscene crazy, like just really just off the.
They did do obscene crazy. There was one about him like encased in Jello.
And I know, but I mean, yeah. They kind of went. I'm actually then. I don't have a bad then. Yeah, you're right. I remember that. I'm not a big fan of the anti-Hitler and the Hitler not.
You support Nazis?
No, I'm the anti-death squad because there was a squad that came from the future.
Yeah,
squad. That was kind of like that's the only thing. Like, I like that too. No,
yeah,
I like that too.
Well, the bad. I mean, let's move on to the ugly Darflex.
Ugly for me, again, nothing, because this is exactly what I expected it to be. Just a silly little, like, stoner comedy.
The ugly Garbanzo.
I'm on the same boat, man. I was happy with this episode. It was a great episode.
I disagree. I mean, beyond the fact that, again, all this thing served for me was a good palate cleanser to fully appreciate the next episode.
God.
That's for sure. But I mean, the when Yogurt took over the world was just as cartoony. It was just as absurd. But yet it was more compelling than this. This is just pure nonsense. Whoever wrote this was of course drinking Proper 12 and just like, all right, well, let's just keep going. And I just kind of sat there looking at it. I wasn't entertained. No, that's not true. At first I was, when it was plausible ways that he would die, but then they started going into other crap. I'm just like, all right, let's move on to the next episode.
Yeah, because believing in things that are, a little different or implausible, that'd be crazy. Hold on, Mama Bean's here. I gotta say hello.
Okay.
Dude, my asshole smells so bad.
Thanks for sharing. All right, well, so that's the end of Love, Death, Robots. Tune in next episode. No, in 2 episodes for the 18th and final part. That's 18 episodes. 18 parts, 18 podcasts. That's crazy that we did all this, but we stuck with it. And Love Death Robots gained a few fans thanks to us. I'd like to say that very clearly. So,
an episode.
Huh?
They should put us in the next season.
They should. They should.
They should. That'd be great. The season 2 of Love, Death, and Robots. Brought to you by the Geek Bros. Yeah, I can see that.
Or at least an episode of the Geek Bros. That'd be great. Do that. Exactly. All right, so we're gonna move on to Squeezy Bits picks. FAA bans dangerous MacBook Pros. So Squeezy Bits sent me this. Following this article comes from Forbes.com. So FAA bans dangerous MacBook Pros from U.S. flights over fire risk. Interesting. It's kind of
I mean, they did say the same thing about the cell phones for a while.
But cell phone did catch on fire, though. There was a problem with it. The Notes or the Galaxies, whatever it was. Following Apple's June recall of the selected 15-inch MacBook Pro computers, the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration has now effectively banned those laptops from traveling on commercial flights. The restriction covers both carry-on and hold luggages. So if you haven't returned one of the effective computers to Apple for the free battery replacement, don't bother traveling with it to a U.S. airport. And here's the funny thing about that, though, because my brother came down and he brought me a MacBook back to me, and they didn't stop him. So
this is recent.
Is this recent? I don't think it's recent. According to Apple, the MacBook Pros,
August 14th.
Oh, it's August 14th. Okay, that's why. All right, I thought because it says here June, but I guess it's June recall. So that's it. So you can't take any MacBook Pros or MacBooks, I guess, at all, because I don't know how a TSA agent would know the difference. says here, all very sensible, highly practical. The idea that TSA officers are going to become adept at quickly telling MacBook Pros apart during an already hasty security screening process will still take some convincing. So yeah, just like I said, I don't know how you're gonna look at a Mac and be like, "That's a Pro," and that's not a no. It's not.
Doesn't it say Pro on it?
I don't think so. Does it? Doesn't say Pro on it.
I think on the back.
Maybe.
Yeah, mine's a Pro on it.
The MacBook Pros are actually also a little thicker.
Yeah,
that's what she said. Well, you're right. So I don't know. We'll see. But so I think that who was a MacBook Pro? You guys?
I do.
Oh, you do? Take a flight? Well, you did take a flight. Well, but you
yeah,
didn't take
I went to Brazil and I came back.
But you didn't take your. But you didn't take your laptop.
I did because I had to work.
Oh, but that was recent though. That was before this ban, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to California next month, so I'll see if they'll let me take it or not.
Is that a fact? Really? You going all these places? You want to invite some dudes, or I mean, like, what's up?
I will when it's not for work.
Okay.
I'm going with the fighters for this one.
Okay, I've got a camera. I can record some behind the scenes. So what's up with that?
Actually, in the future, yeah.
Okay. All right, we're moving on.
Okay.
So thank you very much, Squeezy Bits, for whatever it is that you sent us. We're moving on to Open Mic.
Open Mic.
Disney isn't impressed. Disney is not impressed with X-Men: The Mutants. This article comes from. Oh God, where did I get this from?
Is it the New Mutants?
Flickering.com. Disney isn't impressed with the New Mutants, according to the results. So, along with the yet undeveloped properties of Marvel characters, Disney purchased from Fox. The Mouse House acquired the already produced films like New Mutants. Unfortunately for Disney, they don't seem to be impressed with what they've seen. A recent report from Variety states that Disney is optimistic that handing Fox superhero properties such as Fantastic Four and X-Men to Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige will improve the quality of these movies, but bumps must be smoothed out over the transition. The studio is unimpressed with New Mutants and X-Men spinoff with a haunted house vibe, and it believes it has a limited box office potential. What do you guys think? Is it been pushed back? Now, I like the trailer that I had seen.
Is this the horror one, right?
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, have
you seen the trailer?
Have you guys read? I mean, I don't know what the most. I saw one. I don't know if it's the most recent one.
I liked it though. I liked the trailer. It gave me. It was kind of gave me a Legion vibe.
Okay, my question is: Have you guys read New Mutants?
No.
Okay.
Are they scary? Are they scary comic books?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not at all. Okay, like the whole thing is that the New Mutants is actually based upon like young individuals who actually just learning about their powers, and it's just that they actually end up saving the universe in a couple different ways. One is actually Colossus' sister, as well as other individuals that after he's I'm sure he'll smash you too. So the whole thing is there's a lot. The New Mutants interact a lot, very big with the X-Men universe and a lot of things that they do. So, but this I didn't get any New Mutant vibe from the actual trailer.
I don't know, but I think the impression I got was that they were making New Mutants. I think this is supposed to take place after, if I'm correct, after Logan, when there was no mutants at all, hence New Mutants. And it was just basically them trying to create, just like how they created a weapon. Laura, what's her name in the movie? Laura, the kid, X-23. Yeah, they made her, so it's kind of like that. It's like an offshoot of that, where they were making them, and it goes nuts. Instead of them killing them all off, what they did is it became a little scary or whatever. So, but I liked the trailer. I was curious, a horror thing for mutants, but
no.
Okay, so here's a question: you think they're gonna release it or shelf it or dump it on Netflix? What do you think?
Honestly, what I hope they'll do is they'll revamp it and actually be true to canon and maybe actually do something that's actually based off the comic, not just use the name of the comic and do something completely different. Legion was creative about it, and there's a reason behind the way how they did it, and so on and so forth. They still kind of kept it semi close to the way the basics of the comic was. This, I don't know. I would have to actually get more information and actually maybe see it out. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are going to be, it's going to be like, very well done, and we'll have no issues, and it'll be fun and hunky dory.
All right, Flex, what do you think? Release it, dump it on Netflix, or just vanish?
I don't think it should. I don't think it should vanish. I don't think it should vanish, though. If they do have the opportunity to give us better content than what they think they have, they should absolutely.
But I don't think they're intending on wasting any more money on it. This is now. I mean, they already took a loss with Dark Phoenix, like over $100 million loss apparently on Dark Phoenix. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're gonna put any more money in it. It is set as is. So as is, buying as is. Are they gonna shelve it, release it, or dump it on Netflix, or dump it on Disney Plus? I guess.
Would they lose money if they just put it out?
They wouldn't be able to put it on Disney Plus. I'll tell you right now.
Why is that?
Because it looks like it's gonna have possibly have an R rating.
Put it on Hulu.
Maybe
Hulu
on Hulu.
original.
Yeah.
The Hulu original. Yes, they would because it costs money for advertising. It costs money because if you don't advertise it, then the movie theaters won't pick it up, and I think you have to pay something to the movie theaters too to carry. It's really weird.
Yeah. So I think they should just throw it on Hulu because look, for Hulu they don't advertise any of the DC movies and they're fucking outstanding and they do very well. So I mean, if it's already made and they have the opportunity to just put it on Hulu, because for the most part Hulu advertises itself.
Yes, that's true.
I think they should absolutely put it in some kind of streaming service, and give it to the people because somebody's gonna like it.
Yeah, there's an audience there for someone. You're right. All right,
there's an audience for everything.
Actually, speaking of that, if you guys, our audience, are interested in watching New Mutants, send us an email. Let us know what you think. What do you think is going to happen to it, or what do you want to see in it? And we'll go from there. So we're going to move on to actor responds to shamers who say he's too ugly to be in Marvel movies. This article comes from Yahoo.com. Simu Liu has barely had time to celebrate his casting in the lead role of Marvel Studios' Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings, and he's already dealing with haters. The actor from the first Asian superhero film, which will be out in 2021, shared a video from the website Asian Boss in which a reporter hit the streets of Beijing to ask if Liu is too ugly by Chinese standards to be in Marvel movies, which is wow. The question apparently stemmed from comments on Chinese social media calling both Liu and his co-star, oh come on, Aquafina?
Dude, this guy's good looking as fuck.
Yeah, he's a good looking guy. He said, I've been called ugly so many times in my entire life. He went on to make the whole hateful comment, saying it's a teachable moment, and by responding with smarts and class. So yeah, he's a good looking guy. I don't know what he's talking about or what they're talking about, but yeah, that's a good looking guy. So look, this is why we can't have nice things.
Clickbait, bro. I think this is just people fucking giving us bullshit.
No, I think it's legit,
but here's
it's legit, but it's like the hashtag Me Too stuff, bro. Like people just started fucking like going on it, like not the actual stuff, but it's like after a while, it's like, all right, come on,
you're right.
Well, some of these girls, like I wouldn't touch when I was drunk.
No, but but this is legit. Like they actually had someone interview somebody. They had to go about people in Hong Kong.
Yeah,
and so it was actually.
How do you pronounce Hong Kong?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
It was okay. It was actually it's like.
Was that you being racist? Chinese, is that how they really pronounce it?
Culture appropriation.
Whatever.
Yeah, culture appropriation.
It doesn't matter. It's the way I pronounce it.
He has no gung fu.
Kung fu.
So the whole thing is that this is actually just they went around and asking people, Chinese people from Chinese if he was too ugly to be a Chinese actor.
The Chinese is right.
So it's just like I don't know.
But for the Chinese people, he's not that bad looking.
Well, not according, but that's the whole thing. That's that's the exact opposite. It wasn't people in the States saying it.
You broke up. Yeah, you broke up completely. Say it again. That's the whole thing, and you broke up. That's the whole thing. Go.
It was the people that they interviewed in Hong Kong that they were Chinese that said he was too ugly. He's too ugly for Chinese, not for people here in the States.
Well,
but the fact of the matter is that whole thing is even done. That's where it's kind of like, what's the point of that? That's like literally going around, and like that's just you're just trying to cause issue.
I mean, part of the reason why The Last Jedi failed is that they said, quote, the Star Wars The Last Jedi cast were aesthetically displeasing, meaning they weren't attractive at all to these people. Yeah, that was one of the reasons why it failed.
Well,
that the
maybe
cast is aesthetically displeasing. The cast is aesthetically displeasing.
Dude,
so I
want to put my dick in half of that cast. How the fuck? Yeah, okay.
And that's just the male half.
Understood.
Well, but it's crazy because this guy is much better looking than Bruce Lee and Jet Li. So I don't get what the Chinese are saying.
With that being said, we're gonna move on to more Asian news. Hashtag boycott Mulan trends after Disney actress shares political post. This comes from Entertainment. Hashtag boycott Mulan is trending on Twitter over a pro-police social media post by Chinese-American actress Leo. Oh, she's the same name as the guy, except it's the girl, Leo Fei. She's starring in Disney's live-action Mulan. And shut up. And she made a political post on microblogging site Weibo, sharing a photo of the Chinese paper People Daily that reads, "I support Hong Kong." Sorry. What was it? Hong Kong. Hong Kong. I support Hong Kong. Okay, I support Hong Kong's police. You can beat me up now, as roughly translated according to Newsweek. So she said, what a shame for Hong Kong, and I support Hong Kong police. So for the past 2 months, protests have been storming around Hong Kong over an extradition bill that would send alleged criminals to China to stand trial. Since 1997, Hong Kong and China have coexisted as a one country, two systems, and will remain that way until 2047, per the colonial British deal. If the bill passes, it contextualizes The Guardian, there is a potential for Chinese courts to rule with bias. So that's all she said. And of course, everybody's like boycott Mulan because she supports Hong Kong police, and Hong Kong police want to extradite any criminals to China for whatever reason, which Hong Kong is in China, but separate. It was really interesting about Hong Kong and China. Very interesting. What do you guys think?
I think this.
I think she's hot.
I think she's hot as fuck. That's what I think.
And I love her in the Forbidden Kingdom. I love her in Forbidden Kingdom. I watch Forbidden Kingdom.
One, I don't like to mix entertainment with politics. It has no place. Like,
I agree.
Entertain me. Don't fucking give me your fucking moral views, because at the end of the day, they're not going to be the same.
That's right, Ryan Johnson.
And then that's fucking that. To me, honestly, that kind of sours the content, because I don't want to. Even though for me, I'm the last person, because honestly, I ignore it all. Like, I don't give a fuck. But for some people, I know this is gonna. For some people, I know this is going to sour their experience, because they're like, "Oh, this is this cunt who fucking so and so." But all right, I mean, whatever. That's her review. You know, just separate it. You have to know how to separate things in life, man. You need to understand that nobody gives a fuck about what you think, no matter who you are. Just separate. It's like, I don't think Michael Jackson touched kids, but if he did, it doesn't matter. I'm still gonna fucking listen to his music all the fucking time. I know how to separate, you know, something terrible from something good.
Well, some people can't do that. Remember when R. Kelly had his situation? Absolutely. They wanted to take back his Grammys or whatever from the music that he made. They wanted to take it back. I think, did they do it or not? I don't remember. But
I don't know. But bro, I still fucking jam out to Remix to Ignition, man. It's fucking crazy how people make this such a big deal, because it's not gonna, for the most part, right. It's not gonna impact your fucking life.
Right.
And it's just, it's criminal, bro. Colombia did that during the 80s, 60s, 70s, and 90s. They were extraditing all of the people from Cali that came to Miami, and they brought them back to face trial in their own country. Whatever. That's their fucking issue. It's not going to change what fucking Mulan is going to be. You know? Fucking, it's a Disney movie. It's a bullshit movie. It's a Disney movie. Oh. Just enjoy it for the fantasy.
This is probably the only live action movie that I want to see is this.
Yeah,
one.
But not for the right reasons. I know.
I want to go. No, I want to go because she's slamming hot. And I want to see her, absolutely. But I also, Mulan is one of the very few animated movies that makes sense to make it live action, and might actually be good. So that's why
I think you actually want to see it, because you want to find out if Asian men are also your thing, because it's an Asian woman pretending to be a man. You just want to explore your sexuality, and it's okay, because it's 2019, and we at the Geek Bros, we accept everybody.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. We're gonna move on to Ewan McGregor. Will return as Obi-Wan in his own Disney Plus series, and that is as much as I'm gonna say now because we're gonna get into this at our D23 special. But this article, if you want to read it, is on Gizmodo.com and check it out. It's all there. All the D23 stuff is there. But we will discuss this in the next episode of the D23 special because we want to move forward. Spider-Man: Far From Home is being re-released for 1 week with new footage. Yes, this is a sore topic, and we will get into that more later on in episode 77. But yes, it is being re-released with new footage, and I think it's going to be the extended cut of that Iron Spider scene, and I think they're going to show a Tony Stark scene where it's an extended hologram message from Endgame. But so if you check it out, by all means. Let me see. Does it tell us when? No, it does not. Moving on.
Kevin Smith.
Oh, did I skip that? My bad. No wonder I couldn't find the friggin' Spider-Man thing. Kevin Smith is making a He-Man anime series for Netflix.
Yes.
This article comes from Engadget, ENGADGET.com. And it's going to be for Netflix. A Netflix original anime series, Masters of the Universe Revelation. And Netflix is working with the filmmaker Kevin Smith, Clerks and Mallrats, to create a He-Man limited anime series, Masters of the Universe Revelation. Smith, who served as the project's showrunner and executive producer, has unveiled the new show at the annual PowerCon convention. So it's going to be unlike the She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, which was a reboot. This is not going to be a reboot. This is actually going to be a continuation of where the original show left off, and it'll end that story thread. I was never a Master of the Universe or He-Man fan of any kind whatsoever. So, gents, any of you interested or care?
I am a very big fan. I have been a big fan since, Xenohide or Grasshopper. So, I am going to say that I'm looking forward to it. And the cool thing is they're picking up where I left off. So, I'm looking forward to it. And then also looking forward to the movie that hopefully I hear rumors is they're in the works. And even though Dolph Lundgren did play very good.
Please stop promoting fake news here. You do know that our listeners are really and willing to call us out on fake news and inappropriate and wrong information.
Yeah, they're in the talks about making a new He-Man movie.
Okay, now I'd like to make it very clear that Garbanzo states that they're making a new live-action He-Man movie. Anyway, Netflix has yet to announce when the Revelation will be available for streaming. So, look forward to that. If it comes out, who's gonna watch this? I know you're gonna watch it. Garbanzo, Flex, you're gonna watch it? No.
Probably not excited for it, but I'll probably watch it like I watch DC movies.
I would say watch it and we review each episode, but because it continues a storyline from a series that I've never watched and will not watch just to get into this, I don't know. I highly doubt it. But Garbanzo
go on YouTube and type in He-Man so far.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I do for everything. Oh shit! Forgot I'm not wearing pants. That's what I do for everything that I haven't watched, except Wonder Woman.
All right, so we're moving on to new Star Wars book from Luke's perspective.
And I'm sorry, and not to interrupt. I know that we were on a bit of a roll, but just so I have this bit of a what's the word? Better, I feel a little bit better about myself. Masters of the Universe comes out March 2021 with the directors Aaron Nee and Adam Nee. So
where are you getting this information from?
IMBD.
I am okay. All right, there you go. He looked it up. That is a bondage site. It is, but sometimes they actually do have movie news on it. The multitasking. All right, we're gonna move on to the new Star Wars book from Luke from. You see, you threw up a groove again. New Star Wars book from Luke's perspective teases potential twists in the rise of Skywalker. This article comes from Desret.com. That's Desret News. I don't know where I got this website from, but yeah. So, sure, you might hate The Last Jedi, which I did. You might take umbrage with the cranky Luke Skywalker, which I did. The blue and green milk, which I did. But here's the deal. Luke Skywalker knew almost everything there is to know about when it comes to the Star Wars universe. In fact, he knew about the Old Republic, the Clone Wars, his father Anakin, and so much more. According to the new Star Wars book that's due out soon, Star Wars: The Secrets of the Jedi, is a new book from author Mark Shumrick. which will chronicle the history of the Jedi Order written from Luke's perspective. I wonder if this is going to be similar to like that Book of Sith or the Book of Jedi kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Those holocrons?
Maybe.
I don't think so. I hope not.
So the new book, which is filled with lush paintings, it's filled with lush paintings and special interactive features, including a pop-up holocron, a translator card, a Jedi-equipped booklet, and more, will be released November 19th. The only problem that I have with this is that we all assumed that, that Luke, he learned of it, however he learned of it, and it kind of disheartened him with the Jedi. But from what this is being saying is that he's been in contact with Yoda, with Anakin, with Qui-Gon, and learned everything he needs to learn. And still, despite how everything ended by Return of the Jedi, got disillusioned and was still a prick in The Last Jedi. So how do you guys feel about the fact that he knew everything? He knew everything. He knows the whole thing. He knows the rise and the fall. He knows that the ultimate redemption. He knows about the prophecy, all of that, and still believes what he believes in The Last Jedi.
Look, what Luke believes in The Last Jedi is more of Rian Johnson believes in The Last Jedi. They have been using. They have been working hard, creating new content, making books that didn't need to be made, just to show that retconning that whole thing. So I no longer even bother with it.
Okay. All right. Cool. Flex, anything to add to this? Fantastic. I like where your head is at. I definitely do. All right, we're gonna move on to random Facebook stuff that Darflex sent. Flex, I have a picture of a chick in a Spider-Man bathing suit. That's what I'm looking at. To start this week, we will leave you with this for the Marvel Universe. You sent me this link. Why am I looking? I mean, Aura, she's attractive. But why did you ask me to put this on our podcast?
Well, the fact that you took it seriously.
Oh, okay.
Crazy. I was just sending it to, you know how I said those good morning titty pictures and stuff like that.
Okay.
But see, what was it? Hold on. Why did I send it? I'm pulling it up right now.
It's slender white girl, Spider-Man's onesie was singlet bathing suit.
Yeah, it's Spanish. It's saying to start the weekend good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just you can start your day good, man. I mean,
all I got is a video.
Yeah, you didn't see the fucking video?
No, I just looked at the picture. Oh my god.
Dog, come on, bro.
Oh,
come on, son.
That's fantastic. Oh my gosh, she slapped her ass. And I have my headphones on. I heard that thing loud and clear. All right, moving on. No, because you put it right next to a real article, which we're moving on to. Disney's live action Lady and the Tramp. Come on, close. Will feature rescue dogs that are. Wait, will feature
rescue dogs in the cast as a starring
all
cast.
Rescue cast of dogs. They should have said a cast of all rescue dogs, something like that. Yeah, you said that, and of course the artist formerly known as Jilly Goods would appreciate this more than anybody. So I assume. So you want to report on this?
Really, just anybody. I mean, it's just like not so much a second chance, but I mean, whether or not the movie sucks, I see that this has a good intention to it. Like,
absolutely.
Content aside, right now we're living in a world of so much hate and so much horrible things happening. And again, coming from me, I'm saying a lot, but living in a world there's so much negativity. It's nice to see these kinds of things, that play at the heartstrings. I'm gonna watch it. I think it's a pretty good story, regardless. But I mean, me, anything with dogs, pretty much anything with animals.
Yeah, well, of course, which is why I said that you would, you would appreciate it.
But
so
again, it's just I think it's a very kind and genuine deed.
It's true.
All right, cool. The latest in the series of live action remakes, Lady and the Tramp, will be premiering on the new Disney Plus streaming service November 12th. So yes, check it out. It's basically unlike the Lion King, these are real pets, and they're just CGIing them out to talk. So we'll see how that turns out. I definitely won't be watching it, but I know one of these guys will. Oh look, Tessa Thompson is playing Lady, and Justin Theroux is playing the Tramp. Wow, I like them in the Leftovers. Oh, and you got Sam Elliott. He's playing the trusty sidekick. Trusty. Wow. And then you have Janelle Monáe.
Who's playing Siamese Cats?
Is playing. They're not going to do the Siamese Cats because it's considered racist. It's considered racist. Yeah. It's considered Asian stereotypes. Yep. Just like the crows in A Song of the South. They got rid of that. No. There'll be no Siamese Cats. Nope. Definitely not. I thought you knew this.
No.
They were labeled racist a long time ago.
How are they racist? They don't even, bro.
Man, they said that the Trade Federation, Nemodians, were racist to Asian people because of their accent.
What? So how are the Twi'leks racist to French people?
Because of the accent.
But the Twi'leks are French.
Yes, but they're not unattractive. They're they got lecus and they're fine. I know, but that's what they said. They said that and of course Jar Jar. They said Jar Jar Binks was freaking racist to I think it was Caribbean folk. I'm not even sure.
Yeah, that's Caribbean.
So it was like kind of like blackface.
I mean, thing. What about Watto? Why isn't he racist to Armenian guys trying to sell you cologne?
Racist to Jewish people.
Like,
racist to Jewish.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
There you go. See, you're racist to Jews.
I mean, it's not racist, but
that's what they're saying. So I'm just saying that that's the culture we live in. That's what we can't.
I don't understand. I can't.
The people who think this is racist are probably
racist themselves.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Because why would you? That thought didn't even come to my mind.
No, the idea of that being like towards one culture or the other, like that's just okay. This is a fantasy world.
Yeah.
This person does not have a. It's a cat.
Yeah.
It's a cat. It doesn't have a race.
But it's a Siamese cat.
It doesn't have a.
That's because you need to understand that because it's a Siamese cat, it's stereotypical of Asians, and we don't appreciate that.
They're born that way. They're born that way.
So
just like Nevi, one of my best friends, Nevi, is born this way.
I understand. I understand. He's missing a chromosome. But the fact though is that the
extra one.
The cats. It's not necessarily how they look, but of course their voice, the voice acting, was very stereotypically Ching Chong, and that's another thing they're talking about. That's what it is. It wasn't necessarily the cats as the way they were. Cats were portrayed and they were voiced. I know. I'd love to discuss this more, but we got to keep it moving.
Yeah, we're already an hour and a half.
So yeah, shut up.
Sorry.
So Mortal Kombat has cast more of its leads. Now I don't know if anybody knows this. Mortal Kombat is getting a reboot, suckers.
Again?
Yeah. This article is coming from Gizmodo.com, and they have cast. Let's see now. Popping up characters is Micaiah Brooks from Supergirl. He's going to play Jax.
What?
Yes, the guy from Supergirl.
Like the guy. I think it's okay.
No, guy from Supergirl. He's going to play.
Did you guys see the Machinima YouTube Mortal Kombat series?
Yes.
Those were fucking good, bro.
Fantastic. You know it's all gone, right?
Bro, what?
Yeah, they took them all down. Machinima's gone. The YouTube channel's gone, and unless it's gone, you can't find it anymore. They took it all down.
Wait, what?
Bro. Michael Jai White was the shit.
Yeah, look up Machinima. It's all gone.
The
everything. Sonic for Hire, all the other reboots are all gone now.
Stupid.
Channel's gone.
The fucking Cyrax episode was the shit.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely agree. Lindy Lin is playing Liu Kang. I think he was the Asian guy who played on the in Power Rangers. So anyway, they casted a bunch of people. Joe Taliesin is gonna be playing Sub-Zero. So look out for that. It's supposed to hit theaters March 5th, 2021. Moving on. There is a clarification, and here it is. I'm not going to read this. I got this article from the Nerdist.com. This is a every day and every hour the news changes. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody knows now is that Sony pulled Spider-Man out of the MCU and they're taking it back. Now, there are three theories about this. One, Disney was getting greedy due to the fact that they were cooking the books and low attendance, that they wanted more money to produce these things, and Sony said no. Two, Sony always, ever since Sony did well with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Venom, Sony never intended on renewing it. Or three, this is just a publicity stuff. So Now we know it's when they pulled it back. No, they're still in talks. They pulled it out. They're still in talks. You have 2 videos of both Tom Holland and Kevin Feige, doing like a eulogy, saying it was great. It's never meant to last forever. Kevin Feige says he's happy with the 5 movies that they did, and of course Tom Holland's like he's still gonna play Spider-Man, and Spider-Man 3 is just gonna be very, very, very different. And of course, neither can reference each other. Spider-Man is now just gonna vanish from the MCU. Which with absolutely no resolution and not be able to talk about him, and everything part of Spider-Man's world in the MCU cannot then carry over to Spider-Man 3. So there you go.
Which means no more Iron Spider suit. That has to go out the window.
All of even the Spider-Man costumes, he can't wear any of them. They're all part of the MCU. So what I'm asking you guys, out of the 3 theories I gave you, which one do you subscribe to? Darflex.
Can Garbanzo go first?
Okay, Garbanzo.
Easy. Actually, none of the 3. The thing is that Sony's getting greedy. It's not the whole thing is that what Disney is asking.
So you pick option 2. Oh no, Sony never intended on renewing it. Oh no. Okay.
No, Sony's being greedy. Sony was okay. Sony was only paying for 5% of the actual to produce the movies and taking the majority of the profits. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, on the other hand, Disney's saying, all right, listen, I will split the cost with you 50-50. Okay. So at least that way we're not spending the $30-40 million while you're spending 4 or 5, okay, to produce these movies that are making you guys billions. What did Sony say? No. You want it, you got to pay for it. So,
but is that right?
How is it? Absolutely, they have the right.
I mean, they bought the rights fair and square.
And I'm not saying that they don't. But the fact of the matter is that Sony has the opportunity to make a shit more ton money by putting in to actually taking money out of their own pockets and putting it into the pot, which is that's like basically saying, okay, so you're telling me you'd be okay with basically putting everything together, getting complete profits, and let's say right now, Vibra Studios, I gotta pay for 95% of the movie, but you only get basically back your money and that's it. You still get the majority. So the other production company that you're working with is the one that takes the majority of the profits, and they didn't put any money into it.
Well, but I wasn't tricked into that. That was the agreement that I made because I wanted the character, and I said, okay, fine, I'll retain all the toy rights, which is where the real money is, by the way, is merchandising. Okay, and yes, I will put in 95% of the work and only get 5% of the rewards. But I'm in hopes. Well, I'm benefiting my brand as Vibe Studios, and I am getting the residuals from the merch that comes from a really great story. So I don't give a damn if you're getting $1 billion and I'm getting 25 million. That's fine by me because I'm supporting the brand that I want. I get I get to use what I want to use. Of course. That if I would have had a problem with that, Garbanzo, I would have never signed the deal to begin with.
No, it was a temporary deal that we renegotiated later on in good faith. Correct. And what did Sony say?
Sony said no.
We made too much money. We're gonna go ahead and go. They're playing chicken with the largest. Listen, what's gonna happen is very simple. Sony's playing chicken with the largest with the largest distributor of movies right now.
In the hands 5 years that Marvel has had Spider-Man, they came out with 2 heavy hitters: a critical darling, which is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and a box office behemoth, which was Venom. They feel good. I'm sorry. What you're gonna tell me that they kind of screwed up with the Amazing Spider-Man and blah blah blah, and they didn't want to reboot the character again. For all you know, they did this with Disney to buy some time to right the ship. Guess what? They in their eyes and realistically they righted the ship. I love Into the Spider-Verse. I've watched that movie like 10 times.
I also enjoyed Into the Spider-Verse.
So what I'm saying though is that they have every right.
Yeah, you're right. They do it, but I'm telling you, they're going to turn to DC.
I don't think they got greedy. They just said, look, we did it. We wrote the ship. You guys helped us out. But you know, we're gonna go it alone, you know, and especially if you're asking for more. I think if they said, okay, well, we'll keep going with the agreement that we had, or maybe a little bit more, but whether it was 50% or 25% or 30%, because the numbers fluctuate, that's still a lot more percent than you originally agreed to. So that's how I was saying. Darflex, you've been centrally quiet over there.
I've got nothing to say about this. You guys.
Oh, okay. All right, so of course we're gonna keep revisiting this over and over again until we find out what's going on. Because I am curious about where this goes. So we're gonna move on to that's it again. Matrix 4 is officially a go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this article comes from Variety.com. Matrix 4 is officially a go with Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Lana Wachowski, which is one half of the duo. Lana Wachowski is set to write and direct the fourth film set in the world of Matrix, with Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss reprising the roles of Neo and Trinity. Warner Brothers Pictures and Village Road Show Pictures will produce and globally distribute the film. The announcement was made last Tuesday. It says, we could not be more excited to be re-entering the Matrix with Lana. Lana is a true visionary and a singular and original creative filmmaker, and we are thrilled she is writing, directing, producing this new chapter in the Matrix. Gents, we know how the Matrix ended. And of course we know that it's because Keanu Reeves is hot right now. He's super hot right now. What do you guys think about Matrix 4?
I am very excited to see this movie, man. I have honestly really, really enjoyed everything Matrix has put out. Even the Animatrix was pretty.
Oh, the Animatrix was shit.
The Animatrix was fantastic. Actually.
Even the video games for the PS2 that Enter the Matrix and shit, or Matrix, whatever it was called. That was gangster too, man.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that.
So I'm pretty excited to see what's gonna happen. I mean, I don't think any of their movies or actually any of their content has been shit. It's all been good, in my opinion. I'm just happy to see it come back, honestly.
All right. Me too. I like the Matrix. I didn't have as much hate for the two sequels, Rebooted and Revolutions. I mean, don't get me wrong, they weren't as finely crafted as the Matrix itself, but I didn't mind. I just didn't like the fact that they didn't explain why the Matrix just rebooted all of a sudden when it kind of stopped at the end. They just said, "Oh, we're still in there and still going on. We don't know what's going on." Other than that,
of Hillary's emails. That's pretty much how it ends.
Good point. Makes sense. So if you're excited, audience question, if you're excited about re-entering the Matrix, let us know. Hit us up. I have another audience question, and this is about the Spider-Man crap. Who do you think is responsible for the split? That's one question. How will Marvel resolve the hanging story threads from Far From Home? Because that's funny. Because if they had any idea this was going to happen, why would they end that movie like that? And do you think the Spider-Man brand will be more successful with Sony? And I want to make it very clear that I don't know if you heard this, but Stan Lee's daughter was happy that Sony took it back from Disney. Stan Lee's daughter stated, and I quote, "Nobody's treated my father worse than Disney and Marvel." She says, I quote, "When Stan Lee died, I didn't receive a single phone call from anybody at Marvel or Disney." So she actually supports the fact that Sony took it back from Disney. That's Stan Lee's daughter. So let that simmer in your head, Garbanzo. You let me know if you still feel the same way. So we're gonna move on to we're gonna skip that. We're gonna skip that. Have you seen? It was gonna be an 8-minute skip. We don't have that kind of time. We've got so much recording to do.
No.
So we'll do that next time. So outro, gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching Keepin the Geek Bros episode 76. Of course, you can check us out on Instagram. It's Geek Bros with a 0. Twitter, Yahoo.com, Facebook, MovieGeekSpecies.com, and of course, YouTube.com/Survivor Studios. Gents, shameless promotions. Hit it.
You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at DarthFlex with 2 X's or Darth_Flex, whichever. I'll be the only one there. And then also on Instagram at the Inebriated Craftsman, also the only one under that name. Very easy to find.
Very easy to find. Garbanzo.
You can find me on the Gram, on Twitter,
and the
YouTubes at Bean TKE278. BEAN TKE278. Also on the Facebooks, on the Books of Faces, you can see what the things that go through my noggin, because in the 20s, it's called Garbanzo's Corner. Garbanzo's Corner. Please feel free to message and say hello.
Fantastic. And I've been Vibe. You can check me out on viberevstudios.com whenever that goes back up. There's also my Facebook, my Instagram, and my Twitter. It's Viberev Studios. And yep, that's about it. So thanks for tuning in to Keeping It Geek Bros episode 76. Geeking out still sounds this good.
Keeping up with the Geek Bros.